recognize that. Anyways, hello everyone. My name is Lala. I'm Lala Lucy Cosplays on Instagram, wherever you want to find me. And today we're going to be talking about Cosplay in Ireland 2.0. I did this panel last time in our summer edition of Irish Gaming Market. So, I'm cosplaying Bloodbath from Identity TV today, but enough about me. Let's get into introducing some of our guests. So, first we have Kira, aka Komachi. Round of applause, everyone. We love everyone. Come on. Beautiful. Just sit yourself over there. Okay. And next we have the last known renegade. Yeah. How's it? Oh, a little pose. We got a poser here. And last but certainly not least, we have Kit, also known as Kit, I guess. Woo! Hell yeah. Yeah. Clap along. Oh my god. Do you want to sit here beside me? Yeah, I got a whole couch. I didn't realize until I sat down. Okay, so before we start, just so everyone can get to know you, we'll just go around. So say your name, pronouns, your usernames, and who you're cosplaying today. So we start with you, Kit, because you're right beside me.
Yeah, my name's Kit, and my username is Kit, I guess. Very creative. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm here to talk about crafting and 3D printing.
Perfect.
Hello, I am the last known renegade. You may call me Ren. I use he, him, and they, them, and I'm cosplaying as the Dark Knight of Steel Batman.
Hello everyone, my name is Kira, but my username is Komachi. I use Annie pronouns, and I'm actually cosplaying Hachi from Nana today.
Hell yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start with a few little icebreakers that'll be targeted towards Ollie. Only answer what you're comfortable with, of course. So, just to start off, let's ask, what was your first cosplay?
My very first cosplay was Harley Quinn, and it was for a photo shoot that was an open call for cosplayers from Dundalk Photography Club, and it was a really fun experience, and I was very awkward in front of the camera for my first time, but photo shoots are one of my favorite parts of cosplay.
Yeah. Have you shot with them since you've done that first one with them, or?
Unfortunately, I haven't, but I know a few of them, and I want to reach out to them and see if I can shoot with them again.
Okay, and then next, Ren, same question. What was your first cosplay?
My first proper cosplay was the 10th Doctor from Doctor Who. It was the thing that, funny enough, got me into acting. So I was like, oh, I like this character. If I spike my hair, I could kind of look like him. Very easy, blue suit, done. And then I made that my personality for like almost a decade.
Oh, well done. And then finally yourself, Kira, what was your first cosplay?
See, mine depends. Like,
you can give both answers if you want.
I remember my first con was, I think, DCC 2060, where I kind of just threw together like a Batgirl look, but it wasn't specifically like a cosplay necessarily. But my first cosplay was actually a gender bent Aaron Yeager, and I don't want to talk about it.
We unfortunately won't be showing any photos of that. Only because I don't have them. And then next, what is your biggest achievement in cosplay? It can be anything across cosplay. Yeah, anyone?
I think my biggest achievement would be getting to start selling my own commissions, which I started running off my own Instagram page. Because it's helped me get more confident just in myself and my crafting skills, that people would like my work. And it's also helped get my name out there a bit more.
Yeah.
Kind of the same in the sense of like confidence. I would never have thought of going to like Manchester, and like I think it was last year in Manchester I actually won the Masquerade's performance category from doing a Red Hood monologue, which I was like, oh, there's these people, they're singing and they're dancing, oh, that's kind of cool, and I beat all of them.
You are the
Irish beast.
Irish beast. Irish beast. We'll do a chant later, promise. And then yourself, Kira, what would be your biggest achievement with the
Ironically enough, my biggest achievement in cosplay would be my win at last IGM.
Woo! And we'll have more about that later. I have a few questions on that for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Little sneak peek.
And also meeting my lovely partner. Little shout out.
Oh my god. Can I get the camera over? Okay, so Who wants to go first for little questions about your particular area about cosplay? Or like rock, paper, scissors? Rock, paper, scissors? Okay. This was not planned. Okay, it's between you two then. Another rock, paper, scissors? Place your bets now. Everyone's going for scissors first. Okay. Okay. You're first? Okay. Okay. Dun dun dun. Okay, so, Kira. What made you start to craft more of your cosplays rather than buying them?
Honestly, to kind of make a long story short, I started sewing back when I was way before I was even into cosplay. I used to make clothes for my dolls. But then, as I kind of grew up and I got into cosplay, the big reason I started crafting so much was because I've always, like, all growing up, I've been plus size. So I was never really able to get the factory bought cosplays that fit me. So I just kind of, since have been making them from scratch. Just so I knew they'd fit how I needed them to.
Have you ever bought any of them, or have you strictly sewn them? And what is your experience with if you bought any?
My very, very first bought cosplay was for Aloise from Black Butler, and everything kind of fit, bar the shorts. It would not fit now, I'm saying that much. But bar that, and I've worn a couple of my partners. Everything has been pretty much handmade, except for like ones that have been just clothes thrown together.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. And then, so for IGM Summer, as we mentioned before, you won Best Craftsmanship. Would you walk us through your process briefly of creating that cosplay?
Okay, so looking at the graphic, for Celeste, the shirt was one I had already made for a previous cosplay, so I just had to add the collar. That was handy. But if you know Animal Crossing, you know Celeste is literally a bird. So I was sitting there kind of like, okay, how do I make this bird a person? So you'll notice I did a lot of scalloping on the sleeves to almost emulate like her little bird wings. But like when I go into a cosplay, my big thought is what I want to make it out of, and like kind of a rough time estimate of how long I need it to take. So like Celeste was a lot of designing because she was a bird.
Bird. Sorry, Shields interrupted me over there by waving over. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Hey,
Shields, we're in the middle of something. You're pretty and I love you.
We all love Shields here. And then, I'm going to move on just because I'm checking my I have a little clock. I didn't have this last time. I'm very...
Didn't I tell you I gap?
Yeah, but God damn it, you contained it. You contained it a lot. So, next, as our other loser of the rock, paper, scissors, we're going to go on to Red.
I was like, so glad you finished that with rock, paper, scissors.
Loser period. No, you wouldn't be a loser if you were on this panel. So, as you said, you've been cosplaying for about a decade now, right? In your time in the cosplay community, what are the biggest changes you've noticed in the cosplay community?
Honestly, I think the fact that more people, obviously we have more access like 3D printing and such, we're not well before I started. But even just the fact that people aren't taking that creative element of gender bending and what they're willing to experiment with and how they're using it now. Like, I got really big because of TikTok during the pandemic, and I was like, I never would have thought, oh, let's do such and such. But now it's a case of more people are outside filming TikToks, more people are collaborating, doing photo shoots. The quality of the photo shoots that's coming out is phenomenal. Like any photographer I see at any convention now, unbelievable. And I think maybe a decade ago, you'd be paying 20, 30 euro for a professional shoot. These guys are doing it for free and they don't get enough credit, honest to God.
Yeah, so your photographers are amazing, like all of them here. Like, they're honestly probably my favorite part of cosplay, like working with all of them. So definitely that is a massive change. And then with creating content, what have been your biggest sources of inspiration? Especially because a lot of yours are acting and story-based, since you're primarily an actor.
So for me, it's always a case of dissecting a character of what really is the core of the character. And I was having a conversation with a friend of you were last night. We were talking about Dean Winchester from Supernatural, and talking about how a lot of people, and it's not a slant to anyone, they'll only ever see the masculine, I'm a man version of him, where I like going into, but there's a reason for that. There's a reason that's a front, it's to protect himself, and there's so more elements, especially with music. When I'm going through TikTok and I find the sound, it can be one of the most heartbreaking songs you'll ever hear, and I'll go, I can do that with Jason Todd because of X, Y, and Z, where it's just more of a case for me. I like that element. It's a challenge to take a character that everyone would see as one way and then trying to show off the other aspect of it.
Yeah, so it's basically just psychologically dissecting them for entertainment. That's beautiful. Okay, and then Kit, don't think I forgot about you. So, how long have you been 3D printing your props for?
I actually only got my own 3D printer less than a year ago.
Oh wow.
It's been maybe 6 months-ish. And the third thing I ever put through my printer was a full helmet. So I was just not entirely confident based off of experience, but just confident, like, yeah, I can do that.
You really just like go big or go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, what made you get into 3D printing your own props?
I suppose it was just a lot of things that I wanted to do with cosplay and that I thought could be realized through 3D printing. And it was one of my friends, actually, he got his 3D printer before me, and he printed off a few things that I worked on, and I really just liked the process, and I was comfortable with it, and I was good at it. So then I invested in my own 3D printer there not too long ago, and I have it on it the whole time now. I can't stop printing.
And so what's the process like for, you know, making the designs and everything of making your props? So could you walk us through the process of it?
Yeah, so I always buy my own files. I don't make them myself. I pay for other people who have designed them. So you buy chest plates, or you buy all that, and then you have to run it through a program to slice it that makes it compatible with the printer. And I print in PLA plastic, which is pretty durable. And
yeah, Red also has stuff printed by Kit. We've got our model here.
Yeah, both of our cosplays were done by me today. And then when it comes off the printer, it is covered in these lines from the filament building up. So you have to sand that away, and then I do a coat of resin, which is cured, and then more sanding, more sanding, more sanding, and then finally priming and painting. So it's a more laborious process than it might think, or like might appear at first.
Yeah. Wow, okay. And then I'm gonna ask Ren and Kira one more question each, and then I'll open it over to the crowd to ask questions. So be thinking. So, for Ren, how do you keep a regular posting schedule to like avoid burnout and stuff? Because it's very common with content creation to get a bit burnt out, to lose inspiration. So how do you keep up that morale and, you know, keep a good schedule?
So I work Monday to Friday. So it's like Monday to Friday, it's just work. I go to work, I'll relax, I'll do my own thing. But while going to that Monday to Friday, I'll be on TikTok on my phone and go, oh, I'll save that in my files, oh, I'll save that. And then come Saturday or Sunday, if I have something on, I'll go, okay, I'm going to dedicate an hour, maybe 2 hours to just getting into cosplay, filming, maybe doing a few edits, and then being like, okay, that's it. And generally speaking, I would like to just post once a day. I look at my analytics to see what the best time is, and then I send it out. And that way, if I film, like say, if I film 14 TikToks in a space of 2 hours, I technically don't have to get in cosplay for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If I keep it in that schedule. So I always find if you have enough drafts, you're good. You can just, okay, post, be done.
Yeah. And then Kira, with making your own cosplays and sewing, what are some of the skills you've learned through making cosplays specifically that you find to be the most important?
Okay.
We're getting to the deep ones.
Honestly, like, especially when you get into the realms of competitive cosplay, the tricks I've learned over the years that I keep like under my belt is how to make things clean, because like a messy seam can make or break the cosplay. Like, you can make an entire ball gown by hand, but if those seams are messy, you know, you kind of lose points there. So it was just making sure everything is clean, is flat, and just kind of looks as neat as possible. And actually, to bring it back to Celeste, a big skill that I actually learned with my cosplay before her, but then heavily implemented into it, is all the satin stitching, which are the lines of stitching all around the white and black pieces. And now that is essentially a zigzag stitch on top of each other, and it just goes quickly, but it makes your applique just so pretty and so clean, and I just
So it's very important to you then to have that satin stitch and make it look cute.
Well, no, I hate satin stitch. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't like it, but you like the end result.
I hate doing it. I love how it looks.
Yeah, you want to skip to the end part. So, now I'm going to open it to the crowd to ask questions. So, please ask questions. Please. So, I can just pass you the mic from here if anyone comes up with a question. So, any questions? For any of our cosplayers here, even for myself? Yeah? Come on up, I'll give you the mic. I'm not walking in these heels.
So for like the 3D printing side of things, do you do any modeling yourself? What software do you use? Or whenever it comes to the commission side, how do you deal with like copyright using other models and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I always make sure to buy files that are allowed for commercial use, and sometimes you have to contact the seller to see like if they're okay with it, if it's not explicitly stated in the file that usually comes when you buy it. And I haven't done much, I haven't made any files myself. I've done a wee bit of editing, like on this chest plate I removed an emboss of a bat that was on it because it was originally a redwood chest plate. So I used Blender for that, but that was my only experience using it.
Happy with your answer? Okay, so do we have any other questions from the crowd? You can come up here and I will pass you the mic lazily like this again because... Or I'll sit at the end of the stage. Who got questions? Hell yeah.
So, what's your process when you're picking apart a character for sort of the whole acting side of things, I guess, of cosplay?
I really like that. Me personally, I really like characters I can find in some way, shape or form I can relate to. Whether it's like a form of, like, there's a attitude about them, there's a swagger about them, something along those lines, and then finding something that I can do probably better than someone else can, in a sense of a performance. So like for me, like I said, with Jason, I can look at it and go, okay, yeah, it's very easy to do that. I'm a very angry man and I've got a gun. Or I can do the, it's him or me. Decide. Do you know, like that element to it, because to me, that isn't just a man who is saying, kill this guy or kill me. He's saying, please pick me. Please, just love me, I'm your son, sort of thing. And that to me is like, oh, that would be really fun to play with and get people on the other seat like going, holy crap, he was acting? He's not actually Jason John, what?
Sorry for the mic feedback there for your ears. It's like I went very high pitched.
But that's what I like about it. I like being able, because this is the thing. I got told this by a director I had previously worked with on a different show. She had seen me in the show and I was a French aristocrat, right? I am no way, shape or form fancy. But she said to me, and I quote, I never would have cast you as that, but now that I've seen you do it, I know you can do it. And that to me has been my motivation now with cosplay. I want to cosplay characters I would like to act. So I might never get a chance to be Batman, but you might be a casting director, you might see me as Batman and go, do you know what? I've got a character that's very much like Batman. I might give him an audition. And that's all I need. That's all I need at the end of the day.
You mentioned a French aristocrat. Can you do a French accent?
Oui, oui, mon ami.
Okay.
Je m'appelle Lafayette.
Okay, do we have any more questions? Even if it is asking Ren to say more things in a French accent. Do we want more things in a French accent?
What do you want? You're looking at me, I'm like that.
If not, But we do also have some other questions to allow you to keep your brains cooking a little bit. I like to open it up to the crowd for interaction. Kira gets her mic back. You want to say hi to me again?
I have a microphone.
So,
This isn't a good idea.
it's not a good idea for me to have this either, trust me. And so, what would, for each of you, what would your main piece of advice be for anyone getting into cosplay?
Don't limit yourself. Like, cosplay who you want to cosplay. It doesn't matter if it's a closet cosplay, it's a 3D build cosplay, whatever it is. Just do it and don't bother with negativity. Like, just honest God, do it because you want to do it.
Positive vibes, love it.
And I'd say don't be afraid of cosplaying at any level, because I think some people get intimidated by the cosplayers that make their own stuff and they have really impressive cosplays. If you just want to do the makeup of a character or wear something that they might wear, that is a valid form of cosplay and shouldn't be looked down upon as opposed to people that spend months making their cosplay, because it's a different experience for everyone and it's a different hobby for everyone.
Do not be like me and fully convince yourself you can make a Genshin Impact design in 2 days. So safe to say I don't have a cosplay for tomorrow and I've gotten no sleep in the past week.
Yeah.
So take it slowly. Like, please give yourself a month, even if you need to sew a singular line.
And then, let's keep our dreams all big. What is your dream cosplay for all of you? Like, you know, amount of money regardless.
It's a really tough question because I have 100 cosplays and my dream cosplay changes within the week of I pick a new cosplay. That's my dream cosplay.
Yeah.
And in a week there's a
What's
new
your current one then? Current, like, big dream?
I would love to do Ukiar from Bleach, but I want to do the form where he has the massive black wings, but I need to figure out the logistics of that.
Yeah.
See, my one kind of at the moment now, since I finally get to do Batman, is now Batman Beyond. But my friend Una, God bless her soul, she's here with us. I don't know why I said that. Is her dream cosplay for me, and even her mom's dream cosplay for me, is Thorin Oakenshield.
Yes! Sorry.
I get that sort of reaction. It's solely because I have long hair now and a beard, and they're like, do you know what? You could be Thorin Oakenshield. And I've been putting it off, and then I did one of those videos recently. It was like, lip sync that song and we'll tell you what Greek god you have. And Thorin Oakenshield popped up several times.
I can tell you his entire lore. What do you need to know?
When I need to break down the character, absolutely, I'll get on to you.
This will be after the panel, this will just be our talks. And then what would be your dream cosplay, Kira?
Funnily enough, mine's Beto, who I told I could make in 2 days. But no, like, Beto as a character means too much to me for being pixels. I actually have a Beto tattoo. Shout out to my Genshin Impact tattoo. It's on my arm.
Woo! Nerd tattoos, nerd tattoos, nerd tattoos. I have an Animal Crossing one, like, yeah, I'm pulling that down.
I've got the TARDIS across my chest.
Oh my god.
30 minutes of arriving to DCC the last time I got a tattoo.
What? Did you get a nerd tattoo?
Yeah, it's Sakuna's forehead tattoo.
On your forehead.
On my leg.
Yeah.
But since I'm working on Beto at the moment, I would have to say my current dream is Movika from Genshin Impact, the Natlan
Yeah.
Archon.
I haven't gotten to Natlan yet, so I was like, who's that?
She is very beautiful to me. I love her a lot.
And then, I'm reading through my questions, I forget how to read. Even though all three of you, I've selected you for your certain talents, but what, outside of that, what would be your favorite part of cosplay?
I think my favorite part of cosplay is getting to see everybody, and I've always had a positive experience going to photo shoots and going to conventions because, like, at the end of the day, we're all into the same nerdy stuff, and we don't have to be like ashamed or like kind of tone it down at all. I just get to nerd out as much as I would with friends who will nerd out with me, and getting to meet new friends and getting to meet my partner and stuff all through cosplays.
Kind of going to echo that in the sense, like, I just like collabing with other, like, cosplayers, content creators. I also like it when people come up to me and they're just like, I want to do this or I want to do that, and then just being able to like give them actual advice, because it's happened a couple of times now where like I'll get a photo done with, and then I'll get a message from someone saying, oh, you know such and such. So I like how small the community can be, in a sense. Like I think it was Adam, you said last night that your cousin followed me, and I was like, oh my god, you know the last known renegade? I'm just like, when did I get to that then? When did I get to the, you got a full name me now? But I love it.
You know, it's crazy. Like, there's someone I even saw today, and I met them about like 3 years ago because they were in the same school as my boyfriend. So I saw them today, and I was like, I've not seen you in several years. Anyways, Kira.
My answer is actually very similar to Kit's, with like, especially because I love cosplaying from a lot more like, well, I say niche things, more so I cosplay the niche characters from the things. Like, especially, no one knows Nana nowadays, but I'll get the occasional person who's like, oh my god, you're Hachi, and I'm like, yes, yes. So then just being able to be like, okay, come here, let me talk about Nana for 5 hours. But also, honestly, very close second is getting home and taking all of it off.
Yeah.
And just being able to get into bed, just chill.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom in peace, finally, at the end of the day.
I love being in cosplay, but I love getting out of cosplay just as much.
Yeah.
The shower after this is going to be phenomenal.
Oh, it's good to Now,
My wig is so itchy.
yeah. Now, that is all that we have time for. So, can you all just let everyone know what socials you have, where they can find you, if there's any that are different to these usernames here, or is it all just that?
Mine is mostly all the same, so that's for like Instagram, TikTok, except for I do have another TikTok account under my old username, but I don't really use it.
The last known renegade under everything. If it's not fully that, it'll just be last known ren. It's sometimes the character limit hates me.
Yeah. And yourself?
Yeah, so my Instagram and my TikTok are both under the kit, I guess, and my Instagram is both for commissions as well as just posting my cosplays.
And I'm Irish Cosplays on Instagram, and on TikTok my username is Cyrus Spring. Thank you all so much for coming here today. Give our guests a round of applause. And I will see you all tomorrow at the Cosplay Masquerade as I'm one of your judges. Woo! Okay, exit this way. Just very, oh my god, oh my god. I'm